Okay, so before I do that, let me log into my AWS account. So there are two AWS account. As I said last time, I got two accounts basically. The organization, you can do either way, doesn't matter. Okay. So this one is the account I'm logging in, which I've been working since last week with you guys. Okay. And I will also open another account, which is in, it's just account. Okay, it doesn't mean where I've opened, which region. You can have in any region, but it's a second account with the different email ID. Okay. So I can show you how you can join, different accounts, VPCs, transit gateways, and all those stuffs. Okay. Okay, so this is the account which we have been working last week. Since last week, this is named, I have named as AWS SR Prod. So as you can see here in the organization, I got two accounts. Yeah. So let's see that again. So this is my organization root. I got this account. This is what we worked last week, and this is the account ID. And second one is my different email ID, the different account. Okay, so this one we are working on this browser, and the other browser is open with the other account. Okay, so let's go to the console home here. So let me go back to diagrams again. So last week we explained what is AWS regions, AWS availability zones. We said these topics we are going to cover, so we have already covered. Let me just put them in green, whatever we have done so far. NAT Gateway, Elastic, ENI, root table. So let me put in the different color basically. Let me just put that in the. Okay, I just want to highlight thing. This is a highlighter tool. Okay, this is clear out formatting, quick extra. I don't know the highlighter tool. So anyway, so let's put in a different color. Okay, and we have also done this one. So okay, so I'll just save it. So these are the topics we're going to cover now. So we will cover today. Okay, let me before that, let me explain. So first we created one VPC, Web Prod VPC 1 in EU West to London region, and we created different public subnets and three public subnets, three private subnets. And I explained there is no meaning to the public and private unless until we attach the routing table. So public subnet is meant to be going out or accessible from the outside world internet. Okay, that's why it is named as public, but it is only possible when you create the routing table and attach internet gateway with it. Okay, otherwise you cannot make it as a public subnet. Just name will not make it as a public subnet. Okay, it's kind of DMZ zone. So we explained what is the NACL, what is security groups. So NACL is attached to the subnet level, and security groups can be attached at the server instance level or interface of the instances level. Okay, so more granular it can become. And security group is the stateful firewall. So if you allow outbound, inbound is permitted. If you allow inbound, outbound is permitted. NACL, you have to allow both inbound and outbound, and NACL is not scalable. So by default, everything is open in the NACL, inbound and outbound. Security group have certain restrictions. Outbound, everything is open. Inbound is open within the security groups. Okay. We then explain about the internet gateway, how traffic goes out to the internet gateway. We attach or associate with the entire VPC. So that is why it is at the VPC level. And then we refine the routing table. That routing table on the public subnet says next hop, or in the AWS terminology, it's called the target, to go out 000/0 to the internet gateway. Okay. Then we explained multiple VPCs. Okay, before that, we also created certain instances within the public zones, public subnets and the private subnets. We created RDP server in public subnet 1, and we created one Linux AWS server in public subnet 2. And in the private subnet, we created one Linux server. We named as the private server, and we were able to SSH from the outside to this machine and RDP to this machine, and from these two machines we were able to go inside to this private machine. Okay, and after that we created a second VPC. We named it as Web Prod VPC 2, and this was in the same region, by the way, London. This one. Okay, so this is also important. So I can just I can probably name it as here. Okay, in fact, let me first this, and okay, let me copy this here. So yeah, so we are in the same region we are talking about. Okay, so let's sorry, send it backward, send it back, sorry, send back. Okay, yeah. Okay, and we put this into, how do I put this in the text? Not the text, and text top. It's already in top. Okay, so I can actually I can bring all of these a little low. Actually, so along with this guy here, we can see the region name above. Okay, so yeah, we are working in the EU West 2 region. Okay, this is what I wanted to, what I was trying to show you. Then we created multiple VPCs, but in the same region. So let me put in the same region so that we know what we are talking about. Again, I don't know why it doesn't go up. Basically, it should go. If it doesn't go up again, okay, leave it like this. Okay, and let's send it back. Send it back. Okay, so we can, yeah, we can make like this. Okay, yeah. So okay, so we created VPC peering, right? And with VPC peering, we were able to communicate with the two VPCs, right? So by default, routing table, you can communicate within the VPCs, right? There's no much extra configuration required. Locally, you can route, right? That's what we saw. But between the VPC, if you want to communicate, you have to create a VPC peering. So we created one VPC as the requester, and the other side we accepted. But because we were in the same region, so by default we could accept, from that menu. Okay, so then we said, okay, from each subnet routing table, let's say, because we have associated one routing table with the entire public subnet, 3 public subnets and three private subnet, we said to go to this IP range 10/2 to 20016, next hop or the target is your VPC peering, and we named VPC peering as this one. Okay, and vice versa, we created that. And also, as we said, internet gateway, we have to create another one if we want to go out from this VPC. This VPC, we can make it as a completely private VPC also, so that we don't need to go out. It is just from, this VPC to this VPC we want to communicate, not outside world. So IGW is an optional if we have the external access also required. Okay, in the real world, what you will see, that you might see that there are only one or two VPCs which will have internet access or IGW attached. The rest of the VPCs are completely private VPCs, so they communicate with each other basically. Okay, all right, so this is what we created last time. Then after that, we So egress only gateway we created, we try to create basically, but we can't because it is applicable only for the IP version 6, not for the IP version 4. Just keep in mind. Okay, it's a new feature recently introduced by the AWS. Then in the last, we created NAT gateway. So why did we create the NAT gateway? We said, okay, suppose these private subnet servers want to access internet. Okay, so instead of this server to route via the internet gateway. So moment you make it as an internet gateway, so outside world can also access the server. So it is a one-to-many NAT or the PAT, so that you go only out. You can't, allow the inbound communication. So for that purpose, we created one NAT gateway in the public subnet. Okay, and in that NAT gateway, we attached one EIP. EIP is nothing but the elastic IP, which is a static public IP address in the fixed public IP address in the AWS with this NAT gateway. And we said, okay, to go out on the, we modified the routing table on this private subnet 0000. Next hop or the target is your NAT gateway and NAT gateway name. That's what we did last time. Okay, so are we clear up to this point, guys?
Yes, sir.
All right. So last week, what I did? I did some things. Let me just show you what I've done. So this is my AWS prod. Okay. For some reason I don't know why it's coming here. Okay. Anyway, so let's make it as my London region here. Okay. So let me open two screens which I opened by default. One is VPC, one is EC2. Okay. And you can see my cost, everything is coming here for this particular account. Okay, so far I have spent $4.4. Okay, total. No, current months. Last month was $0.60, so total could be yours $5 for this particular account. Okay, I don't know about the other account. Let me see the other account also. The other account also may have some cost associated. Actually, let's go to console. So here last month 0.42, this month 0.02, which is about 50 cents, so $50. Okay. Anyway, so let's go to first this London account, primary account. So this is my primary account. Okay, AWS SR Prod. Okay. So let's just open two screens, EC2 and VPC here. Okay. So today what we are going to do, so as I explained to you last week, the multiple VPCs, if you want to communicate, you have to create the VPC peering. Okay, whether you are within the same region or multiple regions or the different account, you need to create the VPC peering. So this time, same thing we are going to do with the transit gateway. Okay, so transit gateway we are going to work today. Okay, so let's see how it works. So before that, let me create or modify my diagrams. Okay, let's take this one as a base, or maybe I can. Okay, anyway, so let's do this one. Sorry. Okay, so we are working on the transit gateway. Okay, so first we will be in the same region. Okay, we'll work in the same region, EU, and within the same account. Okay, and we'll see how it works. So I will keep this IGW. I'll have to create this. I've deleted, but I'll create this. Okay, and I'll remove this VPC peering. So we are not doing the VPC peering anymore. I will do this one. Okay, task I will just write down for you in a minute. So let's create one TGW. Where is the TGW? Let's put some icon here, or maybe let me take this one. Okay, transit gateway, TGW. I'll call it as TGW, okay? And we'll name it as web prod VPC TGW1, okay? And let's put this in a different color, maybe this color, okay? Transit gateway, okay? So transit gateway is a gateway, as the name suggests. It's kind of a router. It's kind of a gateway device, right? So it's not a VPC peering. So okay, so let me explain you what VPC peering I meant basically and what we are trying to achieve. Okay, MS. Let me explain with this thing here. Okay, so let's say you have VPC, VPC, more VPCs, VPCs, and maybe one more here. Okay, so these are your all VPCs. Okay, so let me call it VPC 1. Okay, VPC 3, VPC 4, VPC 5, VPC 6. Okay, so I'm just giving an example. Okay, there will be definitely in the production environment you will have many hundreds of VPCs. So what happens? End of the day, these all VPCs might need to communicate with each other. Okay, may or may not be, but most likely they might. Okay, so what you need is basically you need to create. So if let's say VPC 1 wants to talk to VPC 5, right? So you just put this different color. So you need to create a VPC peering, correct? Then this VPC wants to talk to this VPC. You create a VPC peering, VPC peering, VPC peering, VPC peering. So far you're good. Okay. Now again, now you want this VPC 4 also needs to talk to all of them. So you create these many connections, right? How many connections you got? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So far you have created 9. Okay. And obviously if you're creating full mesh, all VPCs want to talk to each other, then you create more. Yeah, you create more, right? Then you create like this, and from here again this one. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. One more here, which will go. Where will it go? 1, 2. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Yeah, 5. So 6 VPCs. You need to create 5 connections for each VPC, right? So total connections will be how many? So let's take out our calculator here. Okay. So formula is what? Formula is, you might remember, is in mathematics you might have done, minus divided by 2. So this is the formula, right? So n node. So you're creating how many connections? 6 VPC 6 into 6 minus 1 5 divided by 2. 15 connections you're total creating, right? If you want to count, you can count 15 connections. So to avoid this, we have to create something called the transit gateway. Okay. So 15 connection. 15 VPC peering connection for 6 VPCs. Okay. Now, so what you can do is you can create a transit gateway interface. Okay. So let's take these again, same examples here. Okay. So VPC 1. Okay. VPC 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for example. Okay. So you call that V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, 6. All right. So in the middle, you will create one TGW, transit gateway. Okay. So what you need to do here? You need to create only this peering. So they don't call it as peering, they call it as the attachments. So VPC attachment to the transit gateways. Okay. So it's a simplified mechanism of communication, right? Obviously, you create basically for each uh, not the subnet, for each availability zone, okay, within each VPC, you create one attachment, okay. So let me just write it down here. So with TGW, okay, transit gateway, you create one VPC attachment per availability zone in each VPC. Okay, so diagram here is accurate, okay, in terms of the attachment, but if you have let's say 3 availability zones, you might end up doing 3 attachments basically, okay, and that's how it works. So it is a much easier, okay. So you see this simplified. So communication wise, you can, if this want to talk to this guy, so this can come here, or this want to talk to this guy, this can go, sorry, via the transit gateway. So transit gateway is the central device here, okay, for all communication. And here they can go direct from each other from this to this, okay. However, you need more, connections, okay. So let's undo this and let me copy this thing. What's happening, right? Okay, so let me copy all this information in my diagram here, okay. Transit gateway. So before I do that, let me put this a slide, a new slide, and okay, actually I don't need to do full to, okay. Oh, sorry, I did it wrong. Paste here, okay, and let me just put a name here. I'll say transit gateway. Okay. So transit gateway, and I can make it bold, okay. So you got the idea about the transit gateway, right? So in the actual world, you will not see the VPC peering. Okay, you might see if it is a fairly simple setup or the less VPC or very small setup, but as the organization grow, large setup, you will definitely see the transit gateway there. Okay, so let's put this transit gateway. Let's keep all this information intact, and let's try to create the transit gateway in the EU West to London region basically. Okay, so let me go back to my, yeah, I'm in the London and same account, AWS SR prod. Okay, so let's see first of all what have we got here. And okay, so we still have the VPC, okay, both the VPCs, VPC1 and VPC2, this VPC and this VPCs which are there. Okay, we got 3 public subnet, 3 private subnet in this VPC, and I think less in the other VPC. Let's see how many we got, or maybe we might have got all. So we got private subnet 1 in VPC2, private subnet, okay, VPC2 we got 1 and 2, only 1 public subnet, 1 private, and the other has 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total. Okay, routing table is still there, which is we created 4 routing tables for each public and private subnet, which is still there. So VPC1 public subnet 1 routing table, VPC1 private subnet 1 routing table, VPC2 private and public, 4 routing table which are associated, and rest 2 are default, so we are not using them. Okay, internet gateways we have deleted, so I have deleted, so I'm going to create them again, IG1, IGW1 and IGW2. So let's create that, create this one, so that it can be a recap for you as well. So let's create that. It's a very simple task. So let's name it as WPV web prod VPC IGW1, internet gateway, okay, and create the another one as well. Okay, let's associate this one with the VPC1 we need to attach, and that's what I'm doing. Okay, so this after that it will be saying available. Okay, so let's create the another one, internet gateway 2, because without this I can't access these servers from the outside, and obviously they can't go out as well. Okay, so I need to create the reason I deleted because these resources are chargeable at times even if they sit idle. So if you know that some of the things you are not going to work, you should delete them as soon as possible, okay, after your work or testing or something is done. Okay, all right, so we need to also modify the routing table. I'm modifying the routing table, two routing tables for the public subnet of each VPC so that I can go at least out. Okay, so you see this. Okay, so last week also we saw, so we are looking at sorry, which routing table we are looking at. I need to go again, routing table. Okay, so okay, VPC1 public routing table. Okay, so I am going to modify this. Okay, so this is black hole because previous internet gateway is deleted, that is why it's a wrong ID. So I can change it to the my IGW1 here. Okay, and I can save it. Okay, without this I can't access from the outside. Okay, so I also need to do the other public subnet for the VPC2, this one. Okay, and same will happen here as well. This one I need to attach and I save it. So if I see my routing now, both are active. Okay, these things we need to do. I don't think I need to do anything else to access at least up to this point to these devices. I don't think I need to. So let's connect to these instances. Okay, obviously all the instances are stopped right now. So let's start total. So if I look at my diagrams, so I have one server here, public subnet RDP and Linux server, and private server, public server one, private server one here. So 5 servers total. So 1 2 3 4 5 servers. So let's start one by one. Okay, so let's start the VPC1 first, public server RDP. Okay, I select it and I say start the instance. Okay, then I start the public server. Doesn't matter sequence because I need to, end of the day I need to start all of them, so sequence doesn't matter here. So let's start all of them pending. Start. And start, and I refresh, so I should be able to see their status here, instance state. So one is now up, this one is running, and it's still saying initializing. And moment I do them start, so you see that everyone will be associated with, not everyone, the public ones will be associated with the public dynamic IP addresses. So these are not the elastic IP addresses. Okay, one more thing, I deleted the peering connection last week. Okay, so after our class, peering connection, you see there is nothing. No, actually it is there, but I have okay, I'm not associated. So let me associate and show you before I go to transit gateway things. Okay, so first of all, let's see all the machines are up, and let me note down their new public IP addresses. So I have the file. If you might remember that I was working on a server information file here. Okay, everyone is in the class, right? Let me see all of. All right, so let me change the IP addresses. So because they are dynamic in nature, so RDP server, this was 18.171. So this is changed now. Okay, what is the second one? Private server, obviously there won't be any public IP address, only private IP address 10.1.129 and 10.1.129. Okay, so which private IP will not change. Okay, public of this one in VPC2, so this is changed. VPC2 server 1 public subnet. So let's change here this one, public, this one. Okay, so private is IP is 10 to 1095, so 10 to 1095. So other server is this one. Okay, so somebody's trying to join. All right, so this one also, let me make a note of this IP address, whose private IP was 10.120.70. 10.1.20.70. So this IP change again, public IP address. So let me make a note of it. Okay, save this one. So elastic IP address I created last week for NAT Gateway. Remember? So that's deleted now. So NAT Gateway we are not doing anything. So let me just remove this thing. We are not doing this NAT Gateway. Okay. All right. So these 5. So let's first RDP to the public server, and so this IP address I'm going to RDP now. Okay, so IP is changed. So let's RDP. Where is the RDP icon? This one. Okay. So previously IP was different. Now the IP is changed, and let me bring the password and RDP. Okay. Administrator password is this, and log into this machine. See. So I am able to log in to Windows Server. Okay, great stuff. So we are here. Okay, so you can see IPs. So it is saying wrong IP 52, 56, 86. Now the IP changed. Now new IP is this 18.134. So that's the problem, right? It might refresh in a while. I don't know how does this Windows Server work. It's a desktop basically. Okay, background. Let's Linux server also. So this one, so 2 Linux public server we will log in. One is the VPC1, one is in the VPC2. And so you remember this one I saved. So I'm just loading it. Otherwise I will have to, if I don't load, I will have to put the ppk file. So this one. So this one for the VPC2, this one is for the VPC1. So by default it is loaded when I say public server 1 load. Okay, so I just change the IP address and I connect it. So I'm connected. I will put the EC2 user, that's the user ID. Okay, so I'm there, and let me connect to this server also, public server of the VPC2 Linux server. Okay, and I say new connection, and okay, so if I load this one, so it will load the wrong key here, key pair 1. Okay, let me try with the key pair 1. It will not let me connect. Okay, it will throw my error message. EC2 user. Okay, so sorry, maybe okay, or maybe I'm using the same key. Maybe I may be wrong. So I let me just check my keys here. Private. So key pair. So key pair 1. Oh, all right. I'm wrong. So key pair 1 is only the correct key pair. Okay, because key pair 2 I think I created for my own testing. Okay, let me do this again. Okay, let me disconnect this and let me try with the key pair 2. I don't know for what purpose I created key pair 2. Okay, key pair 2 will not work for this one. Okay, we'll see that. Okay, and key pair 2, so it's a wrong key, it will not connect. Okay, EC2, yeah, it's a wrong key. Okay, so key pair 1 is the correct key basically, which is fine. So let's connect this one, new session, and just load it and just change the IP address here. You can give the username in the beginning itself, you don't need to give there EC2. Okay, sometimes you can give the password also here, but it's not best practice. Okay, so you are directly connected there. Okay, all right, so we are logged into this system, public server Linux, and public server here. Okay, now let's see ping pong. We try to ping from each other. Let me also keep this window open here so that we know the IP addresses here, and let me go to one of the Linux machine. Okay, so right now this machine, actually let me do this way. Okay, let me make it small. Let me Linux machine here. Okay, so that you can see the screen, right? So are you able to see the screen, all of you? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So this machine, Linux machine, is this one. Okay. So 10.1.2.2070. So you can see the subnet 10.1.20, right? 70. This machine is the public subnet in the other VPC 2 10.2.10, which is 10.2.10. This one. Okay. So now let's from this machine first try to ping within the own subnets. Okay. So let's ping RDP server public private IP address where I'm pinging about 10.1.10.210. I should be able to ping. Okay, so from this server to this server I can ping, and from this server to this server I can reach. Let me just try 10.1.1.29. So that's the IP address, this IP address. Okay, of the so I can reach. Okay, likewise from this machine I can reach to this machine. So let me try ping 10.2.1.163 the IP address. So this is the IP address of the private Linux server. Okay, so I should be able to reach. Okay, but because I have removed the I'm not removed the VPC peering, but I removed their routing, so I should not be able to ping cross VPC. So let's see that first. Okay, so let me try from here to here ping. Okay, so ping any server, doesn't matter which one, so 10.1.1.29 for example. So I can't ping. Okay, and I can't ping from here also any of those 10.2.10.95. I can't ping, and I can't ping 10.2.1.163 the other private subnet server. So I can't ping it. Okay, so so before I move to transit gateway, let me just recap with you with the VPC peering. Okay, so VPC peering is still there. Okay, but I have removed the attachments. Okay, so I've removed the routing. So let's do that routing quickly, and before I jump into this, so let me start pinging. So I'm pinging. Okay, so I'm pinging this server, and from here I'm pinging one of the public server 163 2 dot sorry, which one I'm pinging 2.95. Okay, so here I'm pinging 10.2.163 this one, and let me ping from here, ping 10.1.10.210. Let me ping the 20.70. Okay, so I'm keeping it open, and let me go back to my screen of this one. Let me just do the routing, both the so I'm okay, yeah, okay. So let's do the routing first. Okay, so let's go to routing table quickly. So I will say yeah, 4 routing tables I need to modify. So I am in the VPC2 private subnet. Okay, so routing. So right now only the locally root is there. So I'll put 10.1.0.0/16. So I'm going from VPC2 to VPC1. Okay, so I will say go to VPC peering. Okay, peering connection is this one. So I'll save it, and I will do the other one, this one. So this one is my so I'm in the 10.2. So again VPC2. So I need to go from VPC2 to VPC1 from public subnet. I'll say go to peering connection, and I will say this one save. So I've done just only one side of it. Okay, so ping will still not work. Okay, so I need to do the other side also. So routing table, so VPC1. So I'll go to the VPC1 routing table, both private and public subnets. So I'll add it here 2.0 now. Okay, and I'll say go to peering connection. So I might have something ping might probably come up, hopefully maybe one of it or maybe none of it. Okay, so I need to do the other one as well, this one. Okay, yeah, because I'm doing the public IP addresses, right? So I need to, this one is important, public both side at least. Route, edit, add route. Okay, and go to peering connection. So ping pong thing should work. So you see that I am now able to ping. Okay, so let me break it again. Okay, so essentially with the VPC peering, I am if I go back to my previous diagram of the VPC peering, this one, so I have restored this VPC peering, so I can reach from one VPC to another VPC. Okay, so let's go back to my latest diagram. So are you happy with the VPC peering? So shall I remove these routing table again, because this is not required, so I was just recapping. Okay, so let me remove them. Okay, so remove this VPC peering, save it, and from the all 4 subnets, VPC peering, yeah, save it, routing table, third one, add it, VPC peering remove, save it, and VPC peering remove from here as well, peering. Okay, so yeah, so all of done. So let's quickly check our ping. They will not work. 163 will stop pinging because I have removed the VPC peering. Okay, now so we are achieving the same thing now through the transit gateway. Okay, so I'm demonstrating only 2 VPCs of this EU2 London region. Okay, later on I'll also explain how you can do on the other account or the other regions also. Okay, so let's do this one first. Sorry, I'm just moving my laptop. Where are we? Here. Okay, so let's do the transit gateway. Okay, so let's go back our screen here. So VPC peering, I can remove now connection. In fact, okay, if I want, okay, I can remove this connection. Yeah. One more thing in the VPC peering, if you create a VPC peering, let's say 2, for example. So you see that you say that, okay, select a local VPC peer ID, right? So you can, okay. Now you remember, if you are in the same account, so it's very easy, right? And region is this, okay. But if you are in a different account, different region, then you need to say that another account. Okay, then you need to provide the account ID, and if that's in the same region or another region, you need to tell that. Okay, and you can create that VPC peering. Actually, I can do that. In fact, let me do that. Okay, quickly for you. So let me go to the other account. So I am now in the this is my second account, which is named as the AWS SR Dev account. Okay, and I can create in any region. Okay, so I will create in the Ireland region, for example. Okay, let me create something here. Okay, so that so VPC peering, then we will be completed, by the end of this session. So at least VPC peering will be between different account, different region. Okay, so far what we have done in the same region, same account. Okay, so let's quickly do that in the other account. Okay, so let's create one VPC in the Ireland in the different account. Okay, so create VPC only. I will say it as previous one was the web prod WPV. So I will say it as web prod, not web, WDV, web development. Okay, dev VPC. Okay, what was the name? Let's stick to the so web prod VPC1. So I'll say it as a VPC1. Okay, WD. Okay, web dev VPC1. Okay, and okay, this side I want to give different subnets. Okay, so previously we worked on 10.1, 10.2. Okay, let's give it 10.3 here. Okay, 10.3, 10.3.0.0/60. Okay, no IPv6 and default, and name is this tenancy default we did last week. So let's do some recap of the VPC creation. So VPC is created. We now need to create subnets. Let's create only one subnet. Okay, let's create only one subnet for now. Okay, and attach with the we create the public subnet. Okay, so I will say web development VPC 1 pub subnet 1. Okay, let's not give in any availability zone. So let's do the availability zone, doesn't matter. Okay, so 10.3 3.10.0/16. Okay, so you see our naming convention. The public subnet we are doing with the .10 and private we are doing with the .1. Okay, so let's stick to that so that there is no confusion. Okay, so 10.3.10, and let's create this subnet. Okay. All right, so we are here. Now what we need to create is internet gateway, because I still need to connect to this server so that I am able to ping. However, I can yeah, I need to create. Okay, internet gateway. Actually leave the internet gateway for now. Okay, route table I need to create. So okay, let's modify. Okay, this is the default route table. Okay, for this VPC. So let me name it as default RT, which is web development VPC1. Okay, so I can modify this also. Let me create a new route table. Okay, so I'll name it as web development VPC1 pub sn RD1. Okay, this route table I'm creating, and I'm attaching this with this VPC and create this routing table. Okay, now I need to do the routing, this one. Okay, so routing, let's so right now you can see that only locally routes are there. So I'm not doing the public route, I'm doing the private route. Okay, so what I'm saying is to go to 10.1.0.0/16. Okay, so what I'm saying here is to go to this entire VPC in the London region. Okay, this one. So go via the VPX peering. Okay, so now peering connection is not there. Okay, so we need to create one VPC peering. So this is where we were before. Okay, so I am in the again in the London region. So let me create a new VPC peering. Okay, and this VPC peering is let's name it as PCX peering connection account 1 to account 2. Okay, so between two accounts I'm creating this. Okay, so VPC, let me attach with the VPC1. Okay, so just one test I want to show you. Okay, from 10.1.00. Okay, so now select another VPC. Okay, so this is what I was saying. So I am selecting the another account. Okay, not the same account, so another account. So what is the account ID? So I need to go back to my other browser, sorry, other. So this is where my account ID is there. Okay, so I copy this thing. Okay, sorry, and I paste it here. So I have account I have here. Okay, now he's saying, is this same region EU West 2, which is London, or another region? I think I'm in the another region, so I will say I am in the Ireland, EU West 1, Europe, Ireland, this one. Yeah, now VPC ID acceptor. So what is the VPC ID here? So I go back my VPC again. Okay, and you go here, and this one VPC ID a, this is VPC ID. Okay, so is, see, everything here is very important. Okay, all this. So when you are in the real world, you will have to document everything, your VPC ID, because they are very unique. Okay, so they cannot, so when AWS will create this for you, okay, but they will be unique, you need to document them. Okay, so I have created this, and yeah, let's create the peering connection. So this peering connection is created in London region. Okay, so let's go back here. So you see here, so this one we are no more required, so I'll delete it. So this one we are talking about, so account 1 to account 2, and also from one region of the account to the another region of the account 2. This is what we are doing. Okay, so pending acceptance. So let's go to the account 2 screen. So I'm in the account 2 now again, and I go to peering connection. I should have here. So you see this pending acceptance. So this guy needs to accept it. Okay, if it doesn't accept, this will not work. Okay, before I do anything, let me go back to my ping pong screen again and see they are not working, right? So what I'm doing here, oh actually, so I can't ping. So I am pinging from Linux server, this one 10.1.270, this one, okay. From here I'm pinging to another EC2 instance in the Ireland region. Okay, I have not created that instance yet. Okay, so we will create that. So just give me a second. Let me create that instance as well for you. So let me go to this screen. Okay, so far I've done this thing: VPC created, subnet created, routing table I need to define. This one I need to accept. So let's accept this one. Okay, first of all, accept the VPC peering. So it is say active. Let's go back to the other one also. This one was pending acceptance. If I refresh, it should be active. So this is active. Okay, now go back again in the Ireland region and let's create one EC2 instance. Okay, so right now there is no EC2 instance, so I'm going to create one EC2 instance, which is okay, so I'll name it as web development VPC1 Linux of server 1. Okay, Linux server I'm creating, AWS image again, and free tier, key login, key pair 2. So last time actually I was doing some testing myself, so I created that key pair 2 here. Okay, so I can use that, or if you want I can create a new key pair, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so not much will change. I can, in fact, let me remove this key pair first of all for you guys. Key pair, so that we do everything fresh. Okay, so let's keep here, let's remove this keep here. Okay, delete. Delete. All right, so we deleted this keep here in this Ireland region. Let's create the instance. Okay, launch instance again, and AWS. So key pair gone. Okay, so let's create a key pair and let's name it as key pair 2. Okay, and last time I said for Putty client you need to create PPK. For any other clients you can create the PEM. Okay, so let's create the PPK, but we can convert PPK to PEM, PEM to PPK also. Okay, so there are utilities you can convert. So let's do the PPK. Let's be simple. Create this key pair. So we are going to use this one. Done. I will take that one in a minute. Now we'll edit this one. So we are attaching this to this dev VPC1, and there's only one subnet we have created, and auto assign public. Let's assign the public IP address. We might need to connect this server. We might not need for now. Security group, we have not created anything. So let's attach to this security group, but I will remove it later on. Okay. So advanced network configuration, I'm not doing anything. Let's create this, launch this instance. Okay. In the meantime, let me bring this key pair from here to this one. Okay, so I already have the key pair 2, but the things might have changed now. Okay, because your certificate values might change, so I need to keep it latest and greatest one. Okay, all right, so we have one instance created. Let's note down, refresh. So it's saying pending, it's starting basically. Let's note down its IP address, both public and private. Okay, and I will say, let me go back to my this notepad and I'll capture this information here also. Okay, for you guys. So administrator, I will say that blah, blah, blah. Okay, so these are fine. Okay, so elastic public IPs right now there's nothing. So okay, this is in the account 1, London, yeah, EU West 2. Okay, So the other information I'm doing here is basically account to Ireland, okay, EU West 1, and I will simply server name is this, and note down its public and private IP for now. So public IP is this, and private IP is this. Okay. All right. So let's save this one. All right. So what we are going to do now is, so now we know the private IP address 10.3 something. Okay. So let's keep it pinging from this machine. Which machine? This machine. Okay. Which is a public Linux server on the VPC 1 of the account 1 London. Okay, so I'm keeping it pinging. It will not ping unless until I do everything like routing. Routing, it means through the peering connection and security group also. Okay, so let's go to first Ireland. Let's do everything in the Ireland first. Let's make sure we have everyone in the house. Okay, let's do the Ireland, London, Ireland. So this machine is running. Let's create the routing first here in this. Okay, so let's go to the route table. Okay, so this route table we have created, and we have not associated this route table with any subnets. So let's first associate the subnets with this route table. So only one subnet we have created in the Ireland account 2. Let's associate this and create a route. So route. So right now it is saying only locally how to switch, means 10.3 subnets. Let's go to how to go to 10.1 subnet. Okay, how to go there, and we go there by the VPC peering connection. This one. Okay, so we save it. Okay, this is one thing we've done. We also need to do the security group here, because security group. So you remember we applied with that instance the default security group. So we will, let's name it as default SG, and default VPC. Shakir, you have on the 2 accounts, eh? Okay, so default. So let me create a new security group. Okay, and I will name it as W Web Development VPC 1. Okay, pub subnet SG1. Okay, what we allow we will define in a minute here, and only one VPC is there. Okay, so right now inbound rule there is nothing, so outbound everything. So let's do something here. Okay, I'll say allow everything from the TCP. Okay, let's allow the first of all ICMP from anywhere. Okay, then second rule will say SSH from anywhere. Okay, and we will also say allow all traffic from our VPC 1 of the other region 16. All traffic from there. Okay, although this traffic will override this thing, but let's create this one. Okay, and let's save this security group. Okay, so one side of the configuration we have done. So now we will go to the London region. Okay, and let's first security group we need to modify security group, and let's keep an eye on our ping here. This will still not ping because it's not fully done yet. Okay, so let's do the public subnet, this one, security group, inbound rule. edit. So what have we allowed here? So ping anyways we have allowed, so this will work, but let's allow all the communication from the other side. Okay, all traffic from 10.3.0.0/16. okay, for ping it is not required, it is because already allowed, but I'm just saying all the communication. Okay. Okay, now only one thing is left, which is the routing table, okay, of the public subnet. So we need to say that to go to the other side of the VPC Ireland, go through the VPC peering connection. So we are attaching this with the VPC1 public subnet. Okay, and moment I do this, my ping should work. Okay, so I'll say go to 10.3.0.0/16. Okay, go via the peering connection. So this one we are not using anymore. So this one, account 1 to account 2 peering connection we have created. Let's see what's happening with your ping. First of all, whether that server, okay, let's connect to that server first. Okay, from outside world. What is the public IP address of that server? This is the public IP address. Okay, let me see if I'm able to connect to this server. Let's create a new connection. Okay, and this time I need to give the new authentication key. You remember that key pair 2 we created. So key pair 2 we need to give, and let's go to the session here and let's see if I'm able to connect. Okay, so I can't connect. So what's happening? What is pending? Internet gateway, because internet gateway is not created here. So this guy doesn't know. Okay, so we are in the Ireland. We haven't created internet gateway. So let's create internet gateway, and let me create it as IGW3 for now. Okay, and associate this internet gateway with this VPC. Okay, and just one routing table we need to modify again, this one for the outbound, any routes, anything other than this local and the other VPC, and add route for default any, go to internet gateway, and this one. So I should be able to at least connect from the outside to this server. Okay, so let's connect again. Let's restart. If it is not connecting, then then what's happening? So okay, so maybe I need to modify the security group here, because I need to allow the SSH. Okay, yeah, so Ireland. Okay, let's name this. Okay, let's okay, so I need to allow the inbound connection. What we have allowed? SSH from anywhere we send, correct, and ICMP from anywhere, all traffic from the other side of the VPC. So this is already allowed. So what is the problem now? So we need to troubleshoot, right? So first let's go to this VPC. What's happening with this machine? EC2 instance. So this EC2 instance has this public IP address 10.249.122.162. Let's see if it is correct. 10.249.122.162, which is correct. 10.3.2.10.63, this is also correct. So up to this point, machine is correct. Machine IP address is also correct. Routing, let's go back, check. Okay, so this is good thing to do the troubleshooting as well, so you will learn more. So 10.3 subnets we created, this one VPC, and this VPC is already there. Okay, and we created one public subnet here, correct, and this public subnet is, if you look here, this public subnet is route table is there, which is saying that to go to other side, go to PCX connection, VPC peering 10.3.3 locally switch, and go to internet gateway. So up to this point we are good. Okay, routing table again, I think we created this routing table. Subnet association we did, so we attached this subnet 10.3.3, which is good. Okay, this is not, we are bothered here. no subnet. Okay, this is good. Internet gateway, we created IGW3 and we attached to this VPC, which is also good. Elastic IP address we don't need. NAT gateway we don't need. VPC peering connection is all active, so which is good. And route table is also there, okay, attached here. Okay. So this is all good. So what is the problem here then? Transit gateway and all those things. Okay, let's go to the EC2 instances again. So this instance is running with Linux and okay, let's click on the instance. Okay, what action have we got here? So connect, manage instance. Okay, let's look here. Okay, name is this, public IP address is this, private IP address is this, state is running, VPC is this one, subnet is this one, public subnet, and details are there, which is Amazon Linux, which is all good. So we actually don't need to do anything here, to be honest. Just security group. Yes, you remember that when we created this machine, we attached this with this security group. So we need to attach the actual new security group. Okay, so this is the thing we need to do. So let's go back again our security groups again. Yeah. Okay, so first of all we need to, okay, let's go to machine here. Where is that machine one? EC2 instance. Okay, yeah, see this small thing, we actually don't need to create this public IP and those, because we are only pinging internally. Okay, so where are we? Security, right? So we need to remove this security group and we need to attach the new security group, right? So let's go to security group here. So first of all, let's attach this security group action. We details manage delete security group. Okay, I'm doing something wrong. Okay, so security group action delete security group. No, I'm not doing that. So I think I need to go to instance only, basically. Oh yeah, actually I need to do it here. Okay, security, let's go to security, change security group. Okay, so we need to, so currently default one is there, so let's remove it. Oh, by the way, you can attach multiple security groups also, okay, in one instance, so that is also allowable. So let me remove this one. So let me attach this one, public subnet. So now your everything should start working, basically. So first of all, this ping should work, or at least I should be able to connect this server from the outside world. Okay, hold on, did I connect it properly? Let me just see that. Sorry, there was something happened again. Okay, you need to select. Okay, I selected, but I forgot to add it, basically. So I need to add. Now I save it. So everything should be in place here. So this ping is working now. Okay. So this is what I was saying to you. That one more thing. So you see that TTL value here, not the TTL time. So this is latency. You know the networking, right? So in the latencies, your latency increases when your distance from one server to another server, or your data center distance increase, right? So this is important point for you as well. So if you see my previous pings, so previously, I was pinging. So let me go back to my drawing here. So I was pinging from this server to this server. They were in the different VPC, but they were in the London region only. Means they are in similar same physical locations, right? So their proximity is close, right? But now I have gone from London to Ireland. So London to Ireland is like your Mumbai to Hyderabad kind of things, right? So you see the previous latency was very less, even less than 1 millisecond, and previously here also it is less than 1 millisecond. Now when I'm pinging, so I'm getting high latency. So this can also tell you that you are actually on a different, location. If I had created this VPC in London, my latency would be less. Anyways, so okay. So what I was saying is that my previous one example I gave you in the VPC, right? You generally create only one VPC or two VPCs which has internet access. Rest of the VPCs are the spoke VPCs which will have the private access only. Okay, so I actually don't need. I can I can connect this server again from the public IP address now. Okay, if I go here, but actually I don't need, because I'm not doing that kind of practical example here. I'm only doing the private communication, right, from my one VPC to another VPC in different account, different geography, different region. Okay, I can very much, I can go and I can remove this routing tables, not the routing tables, but internet gateway thing. So this one I can remove, edit. Let me remove this. So this, now this VPC is secured VPC, very much secured VPC. Okay, and I can show you how to connect that server internally as a private IP also. Okay, so this is gone. I don't need the internet gateway. Let me just remove it for now. Detach and remove. Actually, unsuccessful because it has mapped a public IP address. So that's fine. So I have removed the routing table. So I can't anyways connect the server anymore. Okay, so let me go back again. So I'm disconnected. So this server is, I can't do anything, right? So let me again detach. It will not allow me anyway. So what I'm going to do is I can do this thing. I can in fact I can stop this instance. Okay, I can stop this instance. Okay, then I can remove, refresh, stopping. So I can remove this internet gateway now. I think, I hope I can. First refresh it, attached. So it's gone. It's not attached because, sorry, it's detached. Hopefully, okay, has some mapped public IP address. Please unmap those public IP address before detaching. Which public IP address it got? I don't know. Elastic IPs I have not created. Or maybe I can do. Cool. Okay, so it is saying stopping. It is still not stopped basically. Okay, let it stop completely. Okay, because it is, this public IP address is still visible. Okay, so let me first let it be stopped first completely, and before that I go back to you guys again. So up to this point, are we clear how the inter VPC communication, VPC peering from one region to another region, one account to another account works, right? And this is exactly how it happens in the live world. There is no different thing. This is how it is being deployed. Okay, everything is like this only. Yeah, you can raise your hand if you are okay up to this point. Yeah.
So one question. So
Yeah.
first, you can do it with VPC peering, and another way is to have a single transit gateway.
Sorry, your voice is a bit low, Gao, so let me just make my speaker. Sorry, what was your question?
I'm hearing, I'm
Uh,
hearing my voice. Okay. So one way is to do the VPC peering, so that two VPCs can communicate with each other.
yeah.
And if you have a lot of VPCs, then the best way is to go for creating a single transit gateway, and
Yes.
transit gateway will take care of the entire communication.
Yes. Yes. That is correct.
Oh,
So go back to my this diagram, right? You saw this diagram or you did not?
yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
I saw it.
yeah, if you have many VPCs, you need to create all the VPCs, peering. So many VPC peering you have to create, right? So transit gateway, you just attach
Correct.
all these VPCs, just one transit. That's the whole purpose, okay? But I wanted to show you how VPC peering works between different accounts, because in your live world you will definitely have tons of accounts also, because each team
Yes.
is given different account. The region they give the different account so that their billing is separate. So sometimes what happens, if you have only one account, you have 20 teams working with the same account. So it's very difficult for the company's finance or the accounts team to figure out who is consuming more. Are they not unnecessarily consuming resources, and who is causing the more cost to come to the company. So they create different account for different teams so that their billing is there. You saw in my very first screen, right, how the cost was coming for each account. It
Yes.
will show me separate cost.
But again, from the management perspective, it will be very difficult, right? So if you want to make any changes, anything, so you need to keep on going to different accounts and do it. So
Yeah,
instead, you can use three different for prod, dev, and staging.
absolutely.
You can use three environments, and you can do that, right?
Yeah.
And also with costing, also there will be a separate module where you can export
Actually,
what.
actually, people create different accounts mostly for the costing point of view only. So you see that I'm in this dev account, Ireland. I mean, Ireland doesn't matter, but I'm in this account, dev account. Okay, the account ID
Mhm.
is unique. Okay, this account ID is unique, right? So my cost so far last month was this, and now this, total cost is about 50 pence, right? So 50 cents, whatever it is, right?
Got it.
So I will know that this account or is given to this particular team. Let's say your team, Gauss team. So Gauss team is consuming this much money for my company. Kaza team is
Mm.
this much. Rahul's team is this much. Shakir team is this much. I can create for you guys. You might be doing. Let's say you are web developers, or you might be SQL guys, right? Your database guys. You might be application guys. So I can give different account to different teams, and they can create their own resources, and but there are limitations where you can do the VPC peering, where you can do the transit gateway, those kind of things. There are limitations as well. Okay, but these are the things. But I mean, simplicity point of view, if it's a very small organization, not too many instances you're going to create, or very less teams are there, you can probably good with just one account, probably just one region, you might be good as well. Okay, it all depends.
Mhm.
But you will, in the practical scenario, in the mid-tier organization or the large organization, you will definitely see multiple accounts, multiple regions, basically. Okay, so where are we? So this is now completely stopped. Okay, so public IP address is gone. I should be able to remove it now. Okay, so it is saying detached. So it is detached, and I can remove it. So I can remove this internet gateway, delete. There is a security mechanism. You cannot delete straight away. You need to type something if you are removing any critical resources. Okay, sometimes you need to type more. So what does it mean is basically I cannot access. Let me restart this instance again. I cannot access this instance now from the public network. Okay, you will still get the public IP address, but I can't access because public access is gone. So there is no internet gateway. So let me keep pinging this. Okay, first. So you see this. So this IP will not change, private 10.3 to 10.63. So I'm pinging the same IP from my account 1 London region public IP Linux server. Okay, this will start pinging as soon as this comes. So this is running. It's saying it is pinging. So you see that, but I cannot now connect this server from the outside world. So let me do. I'm on the same server. I'm just restarting my session. It will not connect me because public access is gone now. Okay, I disabled the security group. I removed this routing table. I have removed the internet gateway. So internet gateway is removed, means it's gone. So what's happening now is this machine. Okay, if I go back to this one, so from this VPC, I am connecting to now. Let's say these two VPCs. Okay, let me put in a different color here. Okay, and these two were in uh, my EU West to London. Yeah, account one. This was like this, right?
Mhm.
Correct. And now this one is different. This is account two in Ireland. And EU, it is called EU West one, by the way. Okay. So I can just give it a name different. You can make it short to, okay, so it can fit. Okay, yeah. So now what's happening is basically, okay, this machine I am connected from internet. Okay, from my home I am connected to uh, one of the machines, public subnet Linux machine. Okay, then
Mhm.
from here So let's say connection 1, right? From here I have jumped into Linux server here, connection 2. Okay, and this is possible through PCX peering connection. I've created PCX, right? This is what I've done. But this server doesn't have any internet access, so I can't access this server because I have removed the internet gateway. So in a way, what I'm trying to say you is now this entire VPC or maybe subsequent VPC I create, they are all secured VPC. They are all in the private zones. They cannot be accessed from the outside. So if you have to access them, you can only access through some jump server, or you can configure them through, let's say this is for right now I created a web, but this can be your database also, right? DB server also. You can create SQL, you can, sorry, Oracle or any Postgres, any DB you can create, and you can allow security group communication, and you can have web server, application server, so they can communicate in a private communication. Only this may have the public access, right? So publicly, person is coming in the web server is in the private, they are talking to database or application server, or there can be more servers also like this. So you got this architecture, right? Let me, last thing I want to show you on this one before I jump into the transit gateway. I want to actually connect SSH to that server. Okay, so a real world thing I'm showing you. So first thing, so this IP address, right? So it will not connect because my private key PEM PPK file is not correct, right? So let me try to connect this one server. Okay, it will give me prompt, but it will not connect because it will say host verification failed. You remember we did last week all these things, right? So first of all, let's see that I have that key here because I will not have that key, right? I have only key pair 1.pem. So I need to bring the key pair 2 because that server on the Ireland region is running on the key pair 2, right? So let's first copy this file, keep here. So let's convert this file into PEM first of all. So because PPK is for the PuTTY client, so this client is not PuTTY client. This is the native client which accept only the which understand only PEM key, right? So if I try with the key pair 1, it will not accept. So let's see, I try to connect with this -i and I give this key name. You remember -i was the option to define the input of the key pair. It will still not work. Okay, so I need to bring that file on this server, right? So I can do that from my laptop. I have certain command that I can give, and first let's convert this file. Okay, so command for that was in the PuTTY, there is option called the PuTTY gen, this one. You remember we did last time. So load the file, which we did. Okay, then he's saying conversion and open SSH. Okay, export. Yeah, this one.
SSH key. Okay.
Okay, yes, this is all we need to do. Yeah, so we'll give this name and we'll say.
Did the same.
Eh?
We did the same.
We need to.
We did the same.
No, we did not. We
Before
did not.
we did the same, I guess.
We did something slightly different. So this is what we need. Okay. Okay. Let's. I think now we are fine. We should be fine. So this is the new file, 1224. So this is the time. Let's copy it again. Okay. Okay.
Okay, I guess we clicked on generate.
Yeah, so I've copied again, and let's go back now this server ls minus what's happening. Okay, so let's restart this server. Okay, so I'll try to connect. Okay, a new version of American Linux is available. I don't want that. Okay, stuck somewhere. Come on, man. Yeah, I'm there. Okay, so let's do the ls minus l. So I'm the key pair 2, and my time is 12:23. So latest one. Okay, so now let's try to connect. So I should be able to. What's happening? Did I? Okay. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. Okay. So I'm there. No. Okay. What is it? Permission denied. Ah. Okay. Yeah. Got it. Got it. Got it. So okay. First, do the wrong key, and that should not work at all. So that's fine. So we are right. Okay. Permission. Okay. So what's happening? You remember that last time we we changed the mode of this file, right? Means permission. So you see this read only. You need to give yourself all the access, either read or read write or read write execute. Otherwise, if you, because we are giving to others also, if you remember that thing we did last time, right? So we need to change the mode. Chmode command we did. We said 4 plus 2 plus 1, 7, right? So either we make it 4, keep here 2 them. So now I should be able to connect. What's 7? What did I do? Yeah, ls minus l. Ah, okay. See, this is wrong. So I changed, I did 4, which is wrong. So because 4 means for others I've done, for myself, so I need to 400 basically. So now it is correct. So myself 4, others group is 0 and others are 0. So I should be able to now connect. So these things you learn, okay, right, practically. So yes, I am now in this server. So if I go back to my drawing here, so I am now in this server, connected from the private connection, private VPX peering connection, PCX. Okay, so we are able to hop into this server, and whatever we want to do through the security group, we want to allow the database, we want to allow application, we want to allow web, we can do everything here. Okay, so we can connect. So if we want to see the IP address of this server, you can see IP 10.3.2.10.63, correct, which is also listed here as a server name. Okay, it will not show the public IP address here because public IP address is slightly associated outside world. Okay, so we come out of here now. Okay, so we have completed the VPC peering. What we will do next is the transit gateway thing. Okay, and for that transit gateway, let's take a quick break, 15-20 minutes. Let's have our lunch or dinner, whatever you're doing, and we come back after that. We resume our transit gateway thing. So before we go for a break, do you have any question, guys?
I have few questions, but we can do that once we are back.
No, you can ask the question. If it is short question, you can ask now.
Okay, so right now the next hop for the VPC one, the next hop will be the transit gateway, or you are using PBX and you are using only
So,
these two gateways
so,
are
so
created.
yeah. So right now, because we have not created this transit gateway yet,
Correct.
yeah, whatever we are connecting from this VPC to this VPC is through the VPC peering connection. Actually, my
Exactly.
explanation was different, but way of working is same. Okay, so you are connecting VPC peering, not transit gateway, because transit gateway we haven't created yet, right?
Yeah, then it's just VPC peering, right? You know what we did.
Yeah, VPC peering. So PCX
Then what is this PCX and VPC pairing? How they both are different?
PCX is just a naming convention for the VPC peering. So you remember when we created this VPC peering connection. So
Yes,
peering
correct.
connection is itself in the short form. Sometimes they write as PCX. You see the ID
Okay,
PCX.
okay. So, oh yeah, yeah, I got
So I would
basically
name like
terminology. Okay,
PCX
okay.
peering
Got
connection.
it. Okay,
Okay.
it's same
This is a unique.
VPC
This is a
pairing
unique
then.
ID. I said every resource is a unique ID. So they
Right.
begin with PCX.
Got it, got it.
Nothing else. Right. So this was the only question, right? Anybody else has any question before we go?